careful! Help!
Number 10. William Campbell, Star Trek.
Captain Kirk!
Since the creation of the franchise in 1966, Star Trek has featured actors performing all kinds of intense stunts, and on occasion these feats result in a universe of pain. Take the original series' 17th episode as an example. In The Squire of Gothos, guest star William Campbell, who played General Trelane, dislocated his shoulder as he sparred with William Shatner in the forest.
And now let's have at it again!
Although Campbell managed to pop it back into place by instinctively flinging his arm, the incident caused production to go a day over schedule. If you watch closely, you can see Campbell slightly favoring his good arm during the brawl. Number 9. Melina Kanakaridis, CSI New York. Portrayed by the glamorous Melina Kanakaridis, crime scene investigator Stella Bonacera is a badass. Stella works alongside Detective Mac Taylor, played by Gary Sinise, serving as the assistant supervisor of the NYPD crime lab. During her time in this role, Stella protected the city with impeccable stealth and poise, or most of the time. Season 5's opener, Veritas, finds Stella and her team embroiled in a conflict with a killer named Ethan Scott. A chase ensues between Stella and Scott on a fire escape, during which the former trips and gets a very real scar on her left leg. Number 8. John LeMessurier, Dad's Army.
Uncle Arthur.
What is it?
I've finished my carrot and I'm still hungry.
If you're unfamiliar with this classic sitcom, Dad's Army is bursting with good old-fashioned British humor. Set in World War II, the show follows the adventures of English Home Guard volunteers, most of whom are too old or otherwise unqualified to join the regular army. Many of the laughs come from the inept group attempting to execute strenuous military exercises. When Season 3 rolled around, these efforts proved to be too much for John LeMessurier, who played Sergeant Arthur Wilson. The 57-year-old actor strained a ligament in his leg as he threw himself onto the ground in one episode.
Can I cuddle up to you?
Frankly, I'd rather you didn't.
Number 7. Sylvester McCoy, Doctor Who.
Really destroyed me, a Time Lord.
Whovians know Sylvester McCoy as the whimsical and mysterious 7th Doctor. Notably, McCoy's incarnation of the famous Time Lord was the last to appear before the series went on hiatus in 1989. The season 26 finale, titled Survivor, also marked the only time McCoy's Doctor came face-to-face with Anthony Ainley's Master. Although Ainley and McCoy starred as iconic mortal enemies, they had one thing in common: their hatred of the contact lenses they had to wear in this final serial. Both found the lenses to be extremely uncomfortable, and it's visible if you watch closely. It didn't help that Ainley had to hit McCoy with a giant animal bone, though McCoy was so irritated by the contacts that he barely noticed.
I've got to stop. We've got to go.
Can't go. Not this time.
Number 6. KJ Apa, Riverdale.
He's not here.
Over there! Oh my God! He's over there! Cheryl! Cheryl!
Cheryl, stop!
Debuting in 2017, this popular show presents a darker, more dramatic version of the beloved comic series than previously seen. KJ Apa stars as Archie Andrews, who goes from everyday teenager to hero at the end of Season 1. A scene in the finale finds Archie and his friends venturing to save their classmate when she falls through thin ice. Although Apa was actually punching a foam mat, he hit it with so much gusto that he actually broke his hand.
Archie, careful! Help!
What's more, it was so cold on set that he didn't even notice the injury until 20 minutes after it occurred. Number 5. Aaron Paul, Breaking Bad. As methamphetamine cook and dealer Jesse Pinkman, Aaron Paul filmed his share of fight scenes. But a slip that occurred behind the scenes of Season 2, Episode 2 stands out as especially harrowing. Here, Paul suffered a concussion when Raymond Cruz, in character as Tuco Salamanca, pushed him into a screen door. Immediately feeling the effects of the tumble, Paul begged Cruz to stop, but Cruz simply thought his cries for help were part of the script and continued to beat the crap out of him. Real-life mistakes aside, you have to admit the final take looks pretty authentic.
No. Please, no, God, please, no. Oh, God.
Number 4. Marina Sirtis, Star Trek The Next Generation.
There is someone alive here. I'm more certain of it now than ever.
Sirtis' depiction of Counselor Deanna Troi earned her considerable fame, and for a time considerable pain. In Season 5's Power Play, Troy is part of an away team that explores an uninhabited moon. When told there was a stunt that involved the crew being violently thrown backward, Sirtis had the option to use a double, as all her fellow actors were doing. She opted to do the stunt, and although they were able to get a great shot, it came at a hefty price.
Let's do it!
Sirtis hurt her tailbone while crashing to the ground. In Sirtis' view, the worst part of this was that no one could see her face from that distance anyway, so no one would have known it was her rather than a double.
It could have been Michael Dorn in my wig and costume, and no one would have known, it was me. So all that, it was all for nothing in the end.
Number 3, Andrew Sachs, Fawlty Towers. Fawlty Towers is celebrated for its sharp writing and hilarious physical comedy.
Guys, open the door!
The sitcom also features performances from British comedy legends such as John Cleese and Andrew Sachs. Sachs' portrayal of waiter Manuel earned him lots of love from his audience, but unfortunately he was injured a few times while recording the show's humorous mishaps. In addition to the time he was accidentally set on fire, Sachs once found himself on the receiving end of a so-called staged hit on the head with an unexpectedly real frying pan. Talk about devotion to the craft. Number 2, Kit Harington, Game of Thrones.
What do I hold on to?
Whatever you can.
Jon Snow is among the most famous players in the Game of Thrones, and Kit Harington has been widely praised for giving life to the heroic Snow. And according to behind-the-scenes info for the episode Winterfell, it sounds like Harington suffered for his art big time. To film a sequence where Snow rides a dragon, Harington had to sit on a mechanical bull-like device that bucked around crazily. At one point, it grabbed hold of him in a particularly vulnerable spot, causing poor Kit significant discomfort and fear. Being the seasoned professional he is, he soldiered through the scene. But if you watch very closely, you can see him grimacing.
You've completely ruined horses for me.
Number 1, Matt LeBlanc, Friends.
Well, I'm sorry, Joe. I didn't think the doctor was going to buy that it just fell out of the socket.
Joey Tribbiani is a fan-favorite character on Friends. What he lacks in intelligence, he makes up for in loyalty and lovability.
I better not do any, lunges.
That's why we felt so badly for his actor Matt LeBlanc in Season 3's The One Where No One's Ready. A subplot of this episode involves Joey and his roommate Chandler fighting over a couch in their neighbor Monica's apartment. At a moment where they both make a mad dash for the spot, Matt LeBlanc dislocated his shoulder. The writers were able to cleverly incorporate the incident into the show, having Joey, in typical Joey fashion, get hurt while jumping on his bed.
See, Joe, that's why your parents told you not to jump on the bed.
Which TV injury do you think looked the most excruciating? Let us know in the comments.
Ow, 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 it happened right there?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.